Hello, everyone. And
I'm kind of busy right now.
I'm going to get into the story that I was talking about. But first, I want to talk about two things real quick.
You would have heard.
So you guys can skip
You
over
would
this
have
if you
heard me
want and get to
moaning
the
and
story that I'm
saying
about
I'm
to talk
about to
about.
come.
But, by the way, this is my superhero story.
Yeah.
If you guys read the title, you guys will know this. But, let's get to this.
Oh, hi, Marcus. Yeah.
So,
I still see you, Marcus. I think I can still see you. Oh, yeah, I can see you. Hi, Marcus.
the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that apparently
Don't you see me,
Miles
no
has a
kisses,
new
bitches?
power. The power that he's able to use his
Oh.
own lightning, his
No, I
like
don't see you
kinetic
no more.
lightning that he generates out of his own body, to make a sword. He's able to make a sword.
How did you know to get up there?
Let me say this. Yes! And people would probably get mad about this. I am not. I love it. Because, one, that's not a very strong ability. Some people could say, like, oh yeah, does that mean that all he can do, he can make, like, constructs of weapons, sort of? Like a shield, or like, I don't think they're gonna go that far. I don't think they're gonna go that far into the superpowers of that. But I think it's gonna just be like, he can release a sword. Like, he can create a sword out of his own lightning, and that's actually pretty cool. Because you guys think about it, it's not a very strong point. He literally has to learn how to use a sword. And then it won't become like a very powerful move, but it will become strong and deadly as shit. Especially since it's made of kinetic electricity, I don't think it's gonna kill someone because his electricity doesn't kill people. It just shocks them and knocks them unconscious. So I think his the sword is just gonna just shock them. So that's gonna be cool. Another thing I want to talk about. Apparently, they're going to be releasing a superhero movie for Kraven. Kraven the Hunter. Now, I was kind of confused because now I'm just seeing that I guess they're just going to be making like supervillains into heroes or anti-heroes. I guess I have no idea. Or he may still be a villain. He may still be a villain just like he gets his own movie. Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? Who knows what's creating in their minds right now with this? But what I do know is the fact that this is going to be fun.
I'm not A-okay. I'm just not talking.
And I do like how he gets bit by a lion, and with a drop of blood, he does turn into like a lion. Well, not he doesn't turn to a lion, but he gets lion powers. It's kind of like how Spider-Man gets Spider-Man powers. I'm assuming they took the reference off of that to that. And I can see kind of where they're getting their idea from. I'm assuming they're getting their idea from the other version of Craven in an episode, not the other one that looks very sleek and nice and cool, and it looks very, very, very neat. It's not that Craven, and the reason why I'm saying it's not that Craven, because that Craven looked, well, I'm assuming because in that one you can see they were trying to make him look more beastly human-like, and I'm assuming that's where they got the inspiration for this. But instead of them going through that, because that was the drawing, the art style for that Craven was shit. Like, I hated it. I hated that Craven. It was ugly. It was terrible. It was just like how they kind of created him, and how he was going after Spider-Man was so bad. that I hate it with the bottom of my soul. This one does look good though, especially since, well, we don't see who's going to become the Rhino. I'm assuming it's his father, or I'm assuming it's his brother. I don't know really, because it could be that his father didn't die. I have no fucking idea. But oh god, that's gonna be awesome. Like he doesn't. It doesn't take. It's like it's gonna be someone's gonna fight, and it's gonna be Craven versus the Rhino. He has tiger powers. This one has Rhino powers. Who's gonna win? And he has like lion strength. He has lion teeth. He has lion eyesight. But also, he still uses the weapons that Craven uses. Craven, and the reason why I love Craven, because Craven is not like a hunter from today's world. Craven is like an old-fashioned hunter. And what I mean by that is like hunters these days, they kind of have like guns or weapons and stuff. Craven is an old-fashioned hunter. Craven doesn't use a gun.
Hello.
Like, he could if he wanted to. Like, really, it doesn't matter. He really could. But Craven uses things like spears and, like, daggers and shit. And, like oldie weapons, like old shit that people would use to hunt animals. That's reason why, I think that's the reason why people love Craven. Is because he kind of embodiments the old style of hunters. And how this old style of hunting is being used to hunt someone with superpowers, and that is Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm talking to more about Craven and his abilities a little bit, because again, I don't know who the fuck is going to be Rhino. It's either his brother or his father. That's all I'm going to say. It's either one of them, because no one else fucking matters in that movie. They literally made it very imperative that the only people who fucking matter in this movie who could become Rhino is his brother, who I believe is his brother, because they grew up together. You see, like, they grew up together and stuff, so I'm assuming that's his brother, or his father. So it was either or. But it would also be kind of weird since his father sounds like Craven and he does not sound like Craven. Like, his father, like the person who plays as his dad, he sounds like Craven would sound like the opinion of Craven that people have made in TV shows. Like, so, and this one doesn't sound like Craven. Well, he is Craven. He doesn't just sound like the natural Craven that you hear when he's hunting. Because he sounds like, I wish I could do Craven's voice. I will attempt it today. I will attempt this. The first time I ever tried to attempt to do Craven. Craven. Craven is just an old-fashioned hunter. I tried. Craven is just those voices that you wish you can do, but you can't. But like I said, Craven's voice is supposed to be like an iconic hunter. So, cool.
Who's this?
Now,
Oh
we
yeah,
talked
only
about
because I
Craven,
don't like
the
him.
movie.
All he wants to do is play
Honestly, I'm pretty
Fortnite all
hype
day and
about
not
it.
play any
It's
of the
gonna be
special
coming
shit
a
that's
little
on
bit
here.
close to when the new Spider-Man game is coming out. So okay. That's cool.
Yes,
That's cool. That's
you are
cool.
boring as hell.
And we are going to be getting we're going to get a lot of Marvel shit.
No, I just
The
said
only
normal Fortnite
two
is just like
I'm
playing a
actually
game where
looking,
we're just
actually
like
the
going
only
to
three I'm
lobbies,
looking forward to,
shooting
and you guys
people
can
and
quote
stuff
me on
like
this,
that. That's what I
is
meant.
Nick Fury.
So I was talking about any of those games. He
Um,
doesn't want to play games like this where we're shooting each other as like a 1v1.
let's see, Blue Beetle and Craven. Those are the only ones I'm actually giving a
Like
shit
stuff that
about.
has not been
I
made
do know they're making another Spider-Man movie.
by like the people
I do
who
not give a
make
fuck.
Fortnite and made by random people.
Because they
And so I
fucked
find
up,
him incredibly
the first
fucking annoying
movie.
because of it.
I mean,
Because
they
every
fucked
single
up the
time he
second
joins,
movie.
that's
So
all
I
we're
will watch
fucking
it,
doing.
but
And
I don't
now
have
even I'm
any
getting fucking
form
bored.
of high expertise on the movie, or what I expect from the movie. Craven, Blue Beetle,
Oh no, I heard the phone call.
and I
I
literally
heard
just said
everything.
his name and now I forgot. Nick
Yeah.
Fury. I have high expectations, I have high hopes, and I have a few ideas of how they're going to take the movie. So those three things. Well,
Those Planet Gun versus
one of
them
them is
game.
an
That
episode,
seems fun.
and two of them are movies. Morley, Blue Beetle, and Craven. Those are movies, and Nick Fury is going to be an episode. I think.
I don't
Don't
know.
really know for sure, but I think it's going to be an episode. So hopefully it is, because I would like to Craven get. Oh,
Marcus, guy, you
not
can use
Craven.
one shotgun
Him to get
me.
an episode. Whatever. Let's get to this shit. Let's get to the superhero stuff. So as I already did a recap of of the
Yeah,
superhero.
that one was pretty fun. Let's play that one.
I should really try to learn her name too. I kind of forgot. So um, but yeah, there's only a few females in here.
Maybe if we start
So we're just
appreciating
gonna
the
go with the
games that are on
flow.
here
There's actually
instead of just
only two
always wanting to
females
play
in
the same
counting her.
thing
She's
every
three.
single
So count the
time, maybe I actually
main
will start
person of the
liking you
story.
guys.
That's three females, and there's only what, like, two guys? No, three
Actually, there
guys.
are people who hate people
So there's
because of the
like
music
three
they listen
girls
to, and those
and three
people I'm
guys,
actually
and
pretty
one of them
cool
is
with.
young. Okay, so with the story going up, we are now into the point of her asking her to train, asking them to like help her train with her powers and shit. So yeah. So let's get to the story. So she is a So what? So she asks her to train. Well, she asks the guys to help her train with her abilities, since they both all of them have creatures, and they realize that she can't really fuse with her creature like they can, but they can have some synchronizations. They have some things that have now synchronized because of the tech that they gave them. So one, if she actually focus her eyesight, she can actually see what her creature sees. This is kind of a reference I'm making to an episode where a girl could see what a raptor saw, because she was linked and connect to the creature.
My recording is like picking up this entire fucking conversation right now. No, I'm not live streaming. I'm recording a monologue off
Um,
of my phone. So I have my phone doing.
Another
I have my
thing
phone doing a
is
mobile
that
conversation, and this voice record is going to be going on for how long is this recording for? Oh no, probably
so
roughly an hour. Because that's usually
another
how
another
long these
ability that
monologues
they
go
found
for.
out is the fact that um
Ah no.
with her having so many years of
Yeah,
her
that's a sniper
controlling her
rifle.
emotions, and now
Okay, no, you were
she's
saying
able to
Marcus.
control them rampantly. Like, she's now able to just feel emotions. The creature still turns into the embodiment of her emotions. Not the embodiment of the emotion itself, but the embodiment of her emotions. So it will look different between a different person's version of like an embodiment of their emotion. Um,
Oh, hi, Kate. Hi, Kate. By the way, Kate, you said there's no skin that you've actually physically bought. That skin, I think that's a skin you buy.
but with them learning how to control these emotions, they figured out how to like change into different forms of it, instead of like how it used
I
to
thought
be,
the
where
catfish was something you
where
bought in the
she
battle
stayed in
pass.
one emotion, and this creature would have to
I mean,
stay
not the battle
in
pass,
one
the
emotion. Now they
item
can
shop.
change into different other versions of the
Oh wait,
emotions.
oh yeah, I see. I see Derek. He's down there.
And an ability that she has gotten through this is the fact that
Yeah,
she
but
has
Marcus, you were saying repeat your
so
sentence.
like I said, she
Or
cannot
finish your sentence. I should say
physically
not repeat. Finish.
bond with the creature, but she is bond with the creature in a little bit of a mental state
Yeah, Marcus.
to cause
Marcus
her
isn't
to
here
at
no
least
more.
see what the creature
He's focusing way
sees,
too much on the
but
game.
also give her some abilities as well, because originally it was just a girl who had no
I'm out.
powers with a connection with a creature. So one, she has a little bit of super strength, and she also has super jump. So you could say she's kind of like Superboy, but instead of her
bitch, I got
having
that kill.
indestructible, skin, and her are being created by
By the way, I hope you guys
any
know
form
that the
of a
recording
science,
that I'm starting is being posted on
any
my
form
YouTube
of a
channel.
lab whatsoever, is just like those two things.
They can't hear you. The recordings come off my phone, so
And
the only person they can hear is
so with them
me. And
helping
so
her,
only
helping
if I
her control
repeat
her
what you guys are
abilities, and
saying,
helping her learn how to
what
fight
I am not,
with her new
because I
powers
don't really
and
give a I
control
don't really give a shit.
her strength, and realizing that she's not super
Yeah.
strong.
But I'm just saying, it gets
She's really
boring after a
strong,
while.
more
Like,
stronger than
we
she was
keep on,
before,
like, we. And
but
this
she
time
ain't
where I
like
said, like,
super
oh, let's
strong.
play something else,
So,
but then then
well,
Derek
I
go
guess you
up
could
and
say
says,
she is
like,
super strong.
no,
It's
I
hard to
don't like
explain.
to.
So yeah, so with this
Well,
ability
yeah,
and her
but
thanking them
Brie,
once
I've
again
kind of
for
known that about her for a long
freeing her
time, and I've
from
learned that it's better not to fight her, because it just gets worse.
her little like prison in a way.
Not favoritism. But you know what?
They
Fight Brie.
said
Argue
it's
with her. Piss
okay,
her off.
and then they were like,
I
"Now
dare
let's
you,
help you
Marcus.
get
I
your
dare you. I
revenge."
double dog dare you.
So,
You'll see the
but
reason
this
why I
time
don't
she
want to
didn't really
fuck with
see
her.
his revenge, since
So it's not favoritism. It's
the
the
only
fact
reason
that
why
I don't
she
want to
stayed
deal
mad
with
was
it.
because she was mad about everything. She just couldn't like physically
Not saying
feel
that she's
it.
a bad person. I care about Brie. She's one of my favorite people on this planet. But I know if I argue with her, it's just gonna go left.
And so she gotta realize she was holding a petty grudge. But they still had to stop him from making
Derek, on the other
his
hand, he doesn't really
machinery.
complain. So, nah.
So him having all the pieces and the last pieces on the ship, they realize that now all they have to do is hide the ship.
Be attacked by my orange semen.
And so they took their flying ship and they flew over to this
It's a
little
medical
region.
condition.
A region that, if I never mentioned this before, there are some places on Earth now that have been massively affected by the
You
blast.
see,
That
Derek, speak.
didn't just make like some new creatures. Maybe that's some
Is
lore
he in
I'm
this
probably gonna
call?
do.
Like, is he in? Yes, he is. He's
But
just not talking.
also,
Derek, speak.
it creates like some form of
Why else am I supposed to get
it
him to
creates
talk?
a form of like a place that people don't enter for certain reasons. And so this
Be
place,
attacked by my orange
it
semen.
is called the,
That YouTube video
well,
is gonna get
we're gonna
demonetized.
call it the blazing waves. And the reason why it's being called this is because the waves are
Yeah.
actually,
But
it's
they're
kind of like
just.
the
Yeah.
it's kind of like a wave of memories, but it's also kind of confusing because also like the water is really heated. Some people have burned from this water, some people have not, and have
I
seen
know it's gonna get
memories or
demonetized. I'm still
dreams
gonna
or
post it
even
anyways
seen
because I don't care.
loved ones that have died. The only people who know, but the reason
Who
why
knows?
they're
Maybe
doing
that'll be
this
the
is
thing that gets me
because
like some views.
what has been proven is people who have done some wronging, some bad in their life, and they feel no form of regret or sorrow for it, or they just enjoy
Yeah.
what they've done.
By the way, Katie,
The
how
water
was your
will
day?
not
I forgot to
show
ask
them
you.
anything, and instead of it, they will start boiling alive, and they will through the water, and they will actually just start
Katie.
seeing like very dark images. These dark images are from certain people from the multiverse,
Why can I
or
not
some
hear
people from
Derek?
Shadowverses, or well, I should say some things from Shadowverses. And
Derek,
even it
speak.
could be something on the
Unmute
Earth
yourself.
itself, or in space, or in the galaxy. But what it does is shows you these dark things, and it's not, and everyone don't see the same thing. It's dark things that represents you. So sometimes it's not even that, you just see like anything, and it just shows you something that's attacking your soul, damning you to damnation. So, with that being said,
I'm up
the
here. Ah, shit. Someone.
They knew this war because actually every single one on the ship has actually done good. Some they have done bad because you can't live a whole life of not doing something wrong in your life. But they always try to do the good thing. They always try to do everything they can to do the right thing in their life. Now, in the hands of the villain, he has not really cared. So this was the safest place.
I can't really tell you anything because again my YouTube video is recording. Well, my video is recording right now.
So they kind of just jump down in the water, and so.
By the way, I have my Bluetooth
And they start seeing like
mics connected to my
memories
phone,
of
so you
like
guys can't hear it, but I
the
can.
areas and stuff. And
My
instead of
new
them seeing someone that they
I
love,
think someone came in my room and
well
gave me a
the
new jacket.
the other guys that came with her on the ship,
And so I
well
have
the other
that new
people who
jacket
came with her
covering
on
it
the
up
ship,
to
they're
that I can
seeing their
muffle it, but now it just sounds
families
like my
and
voice being muffled.
who died, and they're saying bye to them the last time. But they also, their
I just
family
find
was
it
showing
cringe to
them
listen to me
someone
talk.
else. And this person was we're gonna call him is kind of like the past they're showing them of our
He
Earth.
said until 3 kills.
Because before the blast,
How you?
there was something in the Great Egypts called the Sentinel. Also now kind of called, also was kind of like renamed to the Sentinel Mummy.
Me.
A king who did not want, well, not a king, but a mere human that didn't become king, but was mad because he was treated like a peasant, a slave. He wanted to punish all who ever did wrong.
I actually may start a live stream as
So,
I'm doing this.
he created a
No one really
he
watches my live
created
streams, but
a
fuck.
sort of a crown that goes over your head. So it's kind of like something that goes around. It doesn't like go on your head. It goes like
Actually,
around
no.
your
No
head, and it's like a
witnesses.
gem
No evidence.
in the middle. This thing allowed him to manipulate and control thousands of kings and queens and rulers of all in Egypt. Sorry. In this object was incredibly powerful. So powerful that also affected the person who wore it. You see, him having the more people he controlled in his mind made him started morphing his body, making him get bigger and stronger. By the way, at this entire time, the gem and the head on the front of his head is like giant, is a little bit big, and it's purple. So his his eyes are going purple and stuff during this whole flashback, and he has like purple lightning stuff coming out, and like purple lightning sometimes crashing out. Okay, I'm giving you this good description. By the way, he is black, because slavery and black people was a massive part of slavery in Egypt. So, also black people were also rulers. Like there were some black people who are rulers. So, it's like 50-50. But morally, so um so yeah, and soon he started treating them like slaves, making them start doing the work, and slaves were the rulers. Now slaves did not want any part of this because they did not want to treat people as bad as they were treated. They actually want to do some good, so they want to go free. And so so pretty much they want to live life, but he was kind of mad that they didn't want to take revenge, so he turned them to stone. And people who did not join him in his reign of terror would have been to stone. Now, this now because of this, they didn't they no one could figure out how to stop him, especially with the jewel that he had. But the jewel he had a bit of that it was the curse that he would soon turn, evil. But all the kings rised up. Well, I don't know what you call like a king and queen in Egypt, but you guys know what I mean. And so they rised up and tried to stop him. And stopping him required showed it showed the Egyptian gods that not only humans can prevail, they can also change in heart. Some of them did go back to their evil ways, but how did they stop him was the fact that they cursed him into a cursed him into a coffin. He was trapped in bandages and wraps, and he was forced to decompose, but the crystal didn't let him die, so he was trapped for all of eternity. And so the Egyptian gods, they imprisoned him into the ground under a powerful seal. Now, the only way this thing could have been broken, well, it's not supposed to be broken, and no one ever attempted it. Like I said, some of them did go back to their evil ways of putting people in slavery, but some of them didn't. And so this god shows him, and so he's saying that this is his goal. His goal is to free this person, but put him under his control. And if he does, there will be nothing left of this world.
I'm gonna have fun listening to this recording.
Goes down, and then he's kind of like he walks up
Our
into the
recording's not even
coming
halfway
out of the shadow. And he's like, because he doesn't see what they saw. He was like, well, are you guys done looking into the middle of nowhere? And so with his beastly claws in him, and by the way, he does have little cracks in his body that are glowing yellow. So that's the, and so his eyes glow yellow as well. He was like, so, how for you guys would go here? The only place I can't touch. But I don't care if I die. My mission is to go. My mission is to be the ruler of this world. And I will. Soon as I get you out of my way. And so he's using like his super speed and his claws to like fight them in the water, and he's feeling the boiling, but no vision that the water is showing them is actually working. Because he knows that he's damned. He doesn't care. So everything that they're showing him does not matter to him. So he's just seeing right through it. Well, he's not seeing right through it, but he still sees it, but he also sees them at the same time. And so they're fighting him, and she's using her new strength and her new powers, and she's trying to stop him, and and they're all trying to beat him up. They fuse with their creatures and start fighting back. And so as they're trying to fight him, they're just beating him up, and and they get some good hits, and then they get him down on the ground. So he's in the water, and he's trying to get up, but he can't. And he's like, ugh, you guys stop me. And then he says like, psych, bye bye. And so he starts turning into dust. And so as he's like turning himself into dust, we see this massive blue like speed wave come down and jump down from the ship.
By the way, the recording's like halfway done.
And he has the tech piece. And so as every natural villain, he explained how he got up there. He
If
flew
this was
he
Gun
flung
versus this,
himself
if
by
this
one of
was a
the
one-shot gun
trees,
game, then you both would die instantaneously.
and then he just shot up and got up onto the ship. Took the piece, and then he was like, "Now, I'm gonna take over the world. Thank you for keeping my piece of the tech super safe." And so they knew they had to stop him, but
You're
now
just enjoying
he
the fact
took
that I
off
have
the
to be
sort of the
silent and I can't say anything to you.
guiding part of the ship. So now we had to
How much
follow
even
him
when I'm done
blindly
recording, I am
without
still going to be
able to
quiet.
track him.
So
So they're following him. They're like, "I'm going after him." He's, he's like, "Hey, make." He's like, "So the ice the ice sorceress, if you may, or a sorceress
almost
with the ice
made
dragon."
saliva go up my nose.
She's like, "I'm coming with you."
And
So
by the way,
and they're all
I
still
almost
fused
made
with their
saliva go up
creatures,
my
by the
nose
way.
by
So
flicking it
she's
off
like
my tongue.
going. So she's flying there, and so she gets on her creature, and the creature starts glowing. And the
What the
color
hell?
I'm gonna pick
I didn't. I think I had a sticky bomb.
is going to be the color of rage. And rage kind of looks like, well, in the end of the day, I feel like the embodiment of rage for her would be like the is a rage of a is like the rage of like a beast. So it has like claws. It does like it has like a separate part of it where has like red energy coming from it. That's like the long beastly tail, and then it just like it flies without wings. It has like a very beastly face with a few horns and then ears, you know. And so it was like chasing them. I mean, it was like, I already know that you can't change the emotion of yourself. So I already know that creature's gonna stay red. So that means I can. That means you won't be able to stop. So they kind of like So the girl she freezes. She uses her abilities to freeze
Don't care.
him in place for a little bit, and so a red like rocky beast fist punches him. And so she jumps down and starts laying some hits herself. So it's like she's landing hits, they're throwing it to the creature, the creature's landing
This
hits.
is one long ass
And then it's like,
recording.
you're like, "That's enough." He started vibrating his hands so fast that he created a form of sound wave barrier that pushed us and the creature.
Well, you can hear Derek.
And the girl was knocked out, so the creature got like defused and was knocked out right on top of her. And he was like, "You're done." So this is what she said. She
You
said,
need to get off
"You're
that gun really
done
badly.
hurting my friends." And so the creature turned into the embodiment of sadness. So obviously, I picked the embodiment of sadness as like water dripping down. And so because of the embodiment of sadness, it kind of just looks like a like the face looks different. So I would say like the creature's face looks like the feeling. So anger, and then so this one looks sad. So it's kind of like a frowny face and like a with sharp
I'm
teeth
only King Derek from
and
now on.
stuff. But then it also has water. So like it has like these tentacles it's using for water. So this one cannot fly. But
You're
what it
also
does, it
in front
actually
of
is
me and
like it
preventing
has
me from
tentacles
shooting
and
him.
it's able
So
to like morph like well it's not able to morph his entire body,
I
but it's
was
able to morph his body except for the head. The head stays, but the body can morph. So but it just can't fly. So a tentacle just grabbing and is like, wait, you're not even sad, and it's like, oh, I see. So you learn how to you you reach a new level of your powers.
I'm coming back to
Well,
kill you.
you're too late.
You only killed me because I was reloading.
And then so he like vibrates himself and phases through the water. Because again, it is still rocky area, so he's like phasing through it and then he runs. Then it's the embodiment of happiness he uses to catch up. Now the embodiment of happiness I pick is light. So light I would imagine so also like I said, the bite is like a happy little beast creature. So this one is running on 4 legs.
Oh, I see.
I can make them able to fly, so I do want to say like they can fly if they want to. Like that's like a disability trait for all. Actually, no, we're gonna say that, but we're gonna say that she uses this as a beast trait, and so it's like it's bigger, as bulky, has like these beasts like as like more of a beastly hound type creature body, and is like yellow, like bright yellow, for this color of the light.
But you may do.
And so like
You
she's
may
on
have
it,
one.
she's trying to catch up, and so he throws a marble that opens a portal. She jumps through it, so does the creature, but the creature does transform back into its regular smaller pet form because it was not going to be big enough to go through. So they jump through, and then they're in Egypt. Now they're in ancient Egypt. And so he grabs all the tech pieces, and he's like, "Oh, well, guess what? Now you get to see what happens." And so she starts explaining to him how they all know what they're doing. And so she secretly like presses this button without him knowing. That gives like a beacon location to his to their friends.
My controller has now turned to the perfect massager
And they're also hearing this whole conversation.
for a special place.
And so he goes like, "So what if you know?
I can't say that
It
because
will
I have
stop
a
me at
record.
my
I can't say
pain.
that because I'm recording
The
something I
world will be
actually would
mine.
like for my video not to get
All
demonetized.
mine."
It would be my first
And
video.
so he puts the tech pieces together
I was holding on to
and
that for
creates
no
this
reason.
machine.
I'm sad now.
So to give you guys a good image, it kind of has like it has like orbs and cubes and triangles and stuff around it, circling around. Well, there's like a giant cube, and then there's like orbs and triangles circling around that box. No, triangle. circling around it in its canister. And he said, like, this is a new technology, and if I had to name it, I would call it. I would say I would name it the 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 Quanticlus. You see, this machine here is is able to put so much energy
Finally, I was able to get off that gun.
into one area. And what I mean by so much energy, I mean it's able to take the energy out of the ground. And that I mean the energy that is sealing my most powerful weapon. But also will be the thing that's going to control it. For it to only obey my will. And so he starts the machine, the creature, and then they're jumping at her, so the creature turns into the embodiment of rage, and 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 so she's trying to stop him, but before they even get to it, he activates the device and throws it into the sand where the seal is. So you start seeing this in the middle of the seal, and it starts like crackling and storming. The sand starts breaking down, and then something's coming out of the sand,
No one gets to kill.
and the it's the tomb. It set him free, but it opened the coffin, opened its prison. What came out is a thing glowing. His eyes are glowing purple, and having some remnants of human hands and legs and bodies, but just wrapped in, the stuff that mummies are wrapped in, and more of a pharaoh-like face. His face doesn't even look human. It looks more like, it looks like a weird like statue. Is now his face, and so the thing became its own heart. And because of that, made this creature fall under its control without against his will. This thing dissolved the entire sand and made it grow big and giant to the point it was more like the size of Way Big, if you guys know that reference. So he's on the show. He was like, "How will you stop me now?" And then the ship comes in, and they're like, with her friends. And then you see her, and then you see the girl who's knocked out. She's like, "I want some payback." So she's like, she's not fused with a creature. She doesn't have the strength for that, but she does have some strength for some magic.
You got the kill, but you didn't get the
And so
honor
she's
of
going
killing
up to
me.
them and say like, he put the piece inside of his heart. So wait, if we take it out of his heart, the creature
So, other words,
will
die.
go
Was
down?
it?
Nope. Like, I think if we do it though, the creature will be released out of control. And something tells me that he would be way more mad that someone tried to take control of him than
Oh, jeez, I got this guy.
trying to take over the world. And then we'll figure out how to imprison him. I was like, well, you're the boss. So they're going out and they're going to fight him.
Huh.
And there's like they realize there's like no chance of them
No
winning
one
this
said
battle, but they're
truce.
not going to give up.
You guys can try and kill me, but I'll just keep on killing
So the
myself then.
sorry guys, I'm messing with stuff in my room. So she goes and says, "You."
Oh,
So they start teasing it and start going, "Hey, you should go back to
you need
sleep.
to get
You
back on
look
the surface.
ugly." And so they start making insults towards it. And the thing starts getting mad. Because how much
Because
is
you
a
guys are now
brainless
starting to
main
gang
the
up on me.
zombie? It still
So
has
either way, just
emotions.
quit.
And it does get mad. So it's starting to stomp them. He's like, no, you idiot.
Oh, wrong way.
Focus on
So you guys
Focus
done trying
on
to kill
going
me
to the city.
and gang up on me?
And then the person who shoots with his little rock golem, he shoots one blast. And uses a spell that allows these rocks to like spear the
Alright guys,
spear the
I
rats
want you to
and
say it.
pulls
I
them
want you to say that
backwards,
we're done
seeing
trying to
the
kill
chest.
Market.
And so that's when she goes in.
I didn't do.
She gets our creature to actually help, so
I would. By the
so
way, if
she
you guys
turns
kept it
into
up for
the
like an hour or so, I would
embodiment.
have left. Like left this whole game.
Let's see.
So no, I was giving you guys an hour. That's me being friendly.
I'm gonna say the
So yeah, you guys were getting an
embodiment.
hour. If you guys kept on trying to kill me for an hour, I would have just left the game completely.
Hmm. What emotions have I not used? Anger, happiness, sadness, fear. So he turns into the embodiment of fear. So you will see his face changing into fear itself. You know, not like fear like it is scary, more like it's scared of something. And so she's like trapped into this gem in his chest, and so it kind of has like it still has like these little claws, but he has like a little sharp, little, a sharp little like
The only way
um
any of you guys have killed
pointy
me so
claw,
far is
like
by
one
killing
little
me
sharp claw
behind my
pointing
back.
out from the knuckle.
Yeah, I don't care. And in this game, I'm going to say that all
And the
of you
thing is that
guys are
these
cowards.
some of these things don't actually have legs, and some of them do. This one doesn't, so it's like able to fly.
Because for the last hour or
And
so, I've
so
been keeping
it's
count, and
so he like
and
traps
all
her,
you
and
guys
then
have been killing me behind my back.
and then after that he turns
Yes, I have been
into
paying
like
that
the
close attention.
embodiment of rage, releasing her and then
Yes, you have. You killed
throwing
me
her
like
into it as she
five
jumps,
different times.
using her super strength, punching it.
I'm keeping count
Also made the device explode.
because because that's the coward way out. Face me like a face me face me like a man.
And then using the amount of her force to actually push herself right through the wraps. That also regenerated itself. So the creature comes to him and he's like, "Hi,
That's the thing.
you
You guys are
obey
better than me.
me." So I guess I accidentally paused it. And so he finally spoke and he was like, "I only obey. I only obey myself." Grabs him, throws him onto the ground, and started beating him up.
So
And
hyperactive, this one.
they were not gonna let him die, so they grabbed him and threw him onto the ship. And they're like, "Okay, so now is later. How are we going to, stop him?" Well, he knew. I think he used the sand and dissolved it to make himself bigger. Yeah. So what happens if we use a device that is able to absorb the components from his body? And something that they were going to use on a machine they were
Yes.
using. They were planning to use on the main villain. That was this creature here. To well, the guy was, the guy who was like who killed her
I
and stuff.
wait. How do you activate an
He
airstrike?
using it on her. I mean, using it on him, and like to absorb his powers out of his body, just to keep him weak for a little bit. But it was also a good chance to test it on him. So they get back and they're shooting him when they're like using it to absorb. And there's like, "Please work, please work, please work."
I
And it
wonder how
does
much in
work.
my
He starts
own recording,
shrinking
how
down. And
much
they're
I
like trying
second
to
guess
stop him. So
myself
they're
on
like,
the whole storyline.
"Keep her on him, but keep on flying away. We can't let him grab us." So he's like trying to grab him. And he's like, he's missing because they're just flying around as they're just absorbing like every single like pe- like little gravels a piece that's on his wraps, and so he shrinks down back to his normal size, and they're like, doesn't matter what size I am, I'm still stronger than you. I can still get big. No, well, no, you can't. Like, what? And so they're in, and apparently, and this was, and the person who said this was actually the inventor in the team. He was just like, oh, I also made a little part of this that actually can reconfigure what was in it into a trap. So I was like, but it hasn't been tested. Well, we're testing it now. So then it's like start. So the sand kind of looks white, you know, to match his wraps, and so it kind of like shoots out into a form of like a solid liquid. Well, it was
Ow,
like a
my
liquid, then it
ass.
turned into a solid matter. And it was like, and you could still hear him. He's like, as it's like reaching up to his neck and starting to harden, and it's like, this will not prison me. Oh, we know. Well, we have a friend that will imprison you. And they stopped the villain. They put him in some anti-power handcuffs, for they can't escape. And they took the other guy.
This one.
And so they're all going. I was like, we
I will.
are sort of a badass as a force, don't you guys think? Yeah, like a little
No, it's just from sitting
beat,
down too much.
like a
I couldn't.
like a
By the way,
little
my
beast
recording
squad.
is still playing. By the way,
No, that's a good
so as
name.
soon as I post this on YouTube, there's gonna be a lot of stuff
And
on here.
all were like, yeah, let's go for Beast Squad, right? And so they're like calling Crimson Thunder. That's they go like,
Wait,
they're like,
wait, don't kill me yet.
hey, remember that villain who killed me and stuff? We have him. Oh, cool.
I
Oh
want
yeah,
to
by the
show
way,
you my rap.
I don't know if this goes in your
No,
department,
Derek.
but we
Hold
have
on.
an
So,
uh
shit.
we have an ancient
Look at my
Egypt
rap.
warrior sorceress who's
Yeah, you see,
ancient
I tried to
Egypt
get
mummy
something that was
source
silver related, because
warrior
you know Silver Surfer.
thing. That's also a sorceress kind of. And we have him trapped. I was wondering if you had anything in that department. Strangely enough,
So, Kay, by the
we
way,
still have a
that's
few
your 20th time killing
containment
you behind my back.
fields about being used. What's his abilities? Well, he's able to absorb any matter that's around him to make himself grow big. Oh yeah, I have a prison for him. Take that flying ship over here and bring it on the way. Okay, but it may take us a while. Our tracking beacon got broken, and then the smart person on the team was like, "Nope."
I see her as a coward.
Oh,
She
when
over
you
here
guys were
stabbed me
busy
behind my back and
talking, I
ran
decided
away.
to go fix it a little bit, and this article device seems very powerful, so I just changed it in the way that powers our AI. Now we have infinite amount of energy for the ship. He's like, hey,
Mm,
you guys have a name. And it's trying to give them a name. He's like, oh no, we're calling ourselves the Beast Squad.
Derek.
Actually sounds pretty good. Well, Beast Squad, I think you guys did a good job for your first mission.
This
Now,
recording is almost done.
what do you guys hyper judge yourself for getting over here? And they were like, there was a hyper jet on this? I just like glare at them. I'm like, wait a minute. Have you guys been going around in a ship flying, not realizing that you guys had a hyper
I
jet
didn't say I wasn't a coward. I said you
that
guys were
allowed
cowards.
you to get to far areas? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I never said I wasn't a coward.
we'll talk about this later.
Also, I thought he saw me,
I hang
so
up the call and they're like, okay, let's go.
you could turn this camera
So
around.
our person gets trapped in his
No,
prison. Our own official mummy gets trapped in a little prison, being sent into a little bit of a dark hole that we put our most
shut up.
dangerous villains.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. Saul.
Oh god. And they go around stopping any form of evil beast-like creatures from roaming Earth. Well, from causing any damage. They also calm some beast-like creatures as well. So they also go around stopping things like rampaging some of the rampaging mutant creatures around the world, but they also stop some some cool little beast creatures. They also um form a little bit of an alliance.
Look at
Well,
me.
formed up a little bit. Well, they didn't form a team, but they
Look
do
at me.
work
Look
with
at me, Marcus.
the
Turn around.
a
Look at me.
society that I have yet to name that
Come here.
has
Come on.
I was about to say kaiju's. Actually, yeah, there are kaiju's. Um,
Jared.
has like kaiju's and in like half human, half mutant creatures, well, people in this facility,
Marcus killed me.
and they do sometimes work with them as well.
Turn around.
And bam, that's the end of that story. I know I probably could have extended it out for 2 monologues, but the fact is that I kind of already did that. So you guys kind of got like the recall story that led up to the final story. So yeah, the next superhero I don't know who is gonna be. I'm gonna be doing a background story for. I don't really know. So but yeah, I hope you guys extremely love this
Here, don't
story.
look at me when
I
I kill
definitely
you.
had some fun, like always when I do these. Cause
Look
I
at me,
don't
Marcus.
get to, cause
Look at
when
me.
I do these, I
Look at
don't
me.
get to be
Look at
in
me, you fat
my
bitch.
human life world where I have to deal with these things I can't control or anything, and I get to be in this like
You
I
saw
get to
me.
make
You
these
shot at me. You
stories
saw me.
that sound so epic and shit. And so yes, and I got to create 2 villains. By the way, the other villain we would
You were
call
shooting at
him.
me. That means you saw me.
Well, we actually could. Yeah, we could call him Mummy. Because there's not actually a supervillain called Mummy. The only villain that's actually Mummy related, he's actually called Pharaoh.
Nope.
And he's a villain too, but he's called Pharaoh. There's a giant difference. He does not do magic. I kind of use magic as like it's a possibility that he could or could not. He doesn't. It's just
Look
that
at
they
me.
don't know that. So yeah, there is a giant difference between Pharaoh
Look at
and
me.
Mummy. You see, Pharaoh uses the dark of the arcane magics and mummy wraps. You see, he uses any form of like things around him to dissolve into his own wraps to make him get bigger. And he's just
Okay,
like
I allow you all.
strong.
I allow you all to be
And he's
cowards
able to
now.
control his wraps. So that's kind of it.
Yo,
And
you all. You
if he
all
does
can
get
be
released, he
cowards
would
now. I
have
don't care no
like
more.
a purple glowing thing in his heart.
Also,
Well,
I lost count
probably.
because the
That's
Marcus making
when
me laugh. So
That's probably going to be some for another day, where he probably gets his heart and whatever and becomes powerful. I don't know. That's a maybe on that.
stop coming
That's
after
not
me.
full story. But
You
yes,
can't handle all this fire.
I'm glad I definitely took time to do stories for certain superheroes I never made stories for, because it definitely makes them a little bit more personal into a character, and you definitely get to see what they're like. So for this one female, you see that she is kind of, she's still distant, but now she chooses to trust people. Will trust certain people, and she has learned to love and
I told you
respect,
I don't
and she
care
learned to
anymore.
not hold on to anger and grudges all the
You
time,
guys can
and
be
to just
cowards now. Don't
let
care.
it go. So there's like a lot of growth in her
You need
change,
to
and there's
listen.
also
You need to get the
like,
cot. You need to get the cot out of
and
yours.
also like with her growth came with a
Hey,
gift.
by the way, did you know
Like
that Michael
she
Jackson was afraid of
grown,
combos?
and her growing became to her getting a gift.
Yeah.
So she got like a gift of like super leaping and a little bit of like super strength, and that's like, and I did that just because I didn't want her to feel like she was the weak link in the team. Like all her powers came from a creature. Well, it still does, but it's like her powers are like, she has like some abilities that helps her fight on her own terms now. And that's what makes that a very good story. Honestly, I kind of love this one. Now, excuse me, I have to go look at the other one and
I
see what her
said
name
I don't
was.
care anymore.
Because I kind of fucking forgot. So, oh god. So yeah, give me a second. But yeah, see you guys later.
Whatever. You know, if I just get annoyed and you don't stop, I could just leave. Yes, I actually can. So, I don't care. Because if I get that annoyed, I'm just gonna leave. So, you, so and the fact I'm here means that you have not annoyed me.
Is the recording over?
Finally, it's over.